You know, they talk about Black Lives Matter, but then you look at the crime section of every newspaper. It's all criminals. Samuel Little, serial killer, behind 93 men, has died. Okay, so he finally died. This is the most prolific serial killer in the history of the world. You know, they always say, well, serial killers are white. No, that's not true. Serial killers are black, and even mass murderers are black. Gangs are black. Black crime is a disease uh, that's really just killing this country. Uh, I mean, we have this black cops now. This Nashville police failure to get a warrant after receiving tips about bomber. The bomber. Now, they put in charge this black police chiefs who really don't know what they're doing. They're lazy. They're afraid. They're afraid for their lives. You know, white cops take, excuse me, white cops take chances. Uh, but black cops. I mean, that's why in every cities where they have all this, where like this blacks get killed by cops, the police chief, the mayor, the city council, they're all black. They don't know what they're doing. They really don't know what. I mean, they just you put them in charge, and it becomes Africa all over again. It's all over again. It's Africa all over again. We're black male detained by maskless officer test positive for COVID. Who cares? I mean, sometimes they have news items and say to you, why do they want to treat crime like they want to be colorblind, but the fact is that we all know they're black. Uh, you know, Sometimes they talk about some suspect, and they never give the race. Well, unless they're white, they never give the race. So when they don't give the race, you know they're black, right? When they don't give the race, you know they're black. Okay, Ohio inmate who survived execution attempt dies of complication. The other thing also that the death penalty for these black criminals is like plummeting. Like they're not executing these black criminals the way they used to. And now Joe Biden is going to make it worse. Joe Biden is going to abolish the death penalty for all these black sadistic murderers. Okay, so what else we got here? Is killed in carjacking in driveway with his wife. Okay, but it's like a white newspaper should not report on black and black crime. We don't care. White people don't care about black and black crime. I mean, let them set up their own newspaper and deal with it. I mean, it's kind of like, what am I supposed to make of the fact that this black was killed by other black? Now, they never give the identification of the black suspect. So it's almost like it's automatic, like I said. If they don't give the identification of the black suspect, you know the suspect is black, right? And they always are. I mean, blacks are 15% of the population, and they commit, well over 90% of all the violent crime. In some cities, they could be like, 20% of the population, 30%, like New York City, and they commit practically 100% of all the violent crimes, the rape, the murders, and not just against each other, but against white people. And that's what kills me. Role model college student who worked with homeless girls, uh, is killed in random shooting. Okay, so blacks do it to you. That's not my problem. That's not my problem. Blacks are killing you. I don't know why it's even news. Okay. Uh, and then they have, like, when they have white crime, it's always like, like this celebrities, who paid colleges, like this Loeffler woman, Lori Loeffler, who pays some college to get her daughter into college. Like, that's supposed to be a crime. Is that a crime You try to get your kids through college so they can be productive members of society, and that's supposed to be a crime. Michigan man loses his mom and and 10-year-old son in shooting. Again, this is black on black crime. Do we care? White people don't care. The day after Christmas, 45-year-old black 45-year-old grandmother. I once saw I I once saw the Maury Povich show, and they had this black female, and she said that she was a grandmother. She was 32 years old. So I did like a quick math. There, yeah, the daughter that had the grandchild and her must have been about 15 when they got pregnant, and they reproduce. And they reproduce like rats. Okay, so the day after Christmas, a 45-year-old grandmother and her 10-year-old grandson were shot while sleeping inside their Flint, Michigan home. Again, they don't give the description of the suspect, but you know they're blacks. Black commit all this vicious crime. Unbelievable. And my God, four dead in Houston domestic violence shooting. I can't figure out what race this is. They are. Four people were killed in a Houston home Wednesday. What authorities said was likely a domestic violence shooting. Four people died. Boy, that that's one hell of a family dispute, huh? Uh, I don't know. I guess Gonzalez said he believed the 49-year-old was a boyfriend. Okay, they're probably Mexican or some shit. So yeah, they look like Mexicans. Looking at the pictures here, and so so that's you got these Mexicans when they're not blasting their radios and keeping you awake uh, at night. I had to call the police like 4 times, and this crazy bitch next to me, blasting the goddamn partying until 2 o'clock in the morning. And the stupid bitch, the cops come, they say turn it down, and then when the moment the cops leave, they turn it up again. I mean, it's unbelievable that it's either stupidity or they're rude or they just have this sort of criminal, the criminal attitude. Ohio dead Roy Mates who survived 2000 executed. 2009 should have been killed then. Uh, Black male charged with murder after woman 3-month-old baby found stabbed. I'm concerned whether the victim was white or not. But when the article is small like this, it's usually like a black female. A Virginia man has been charged with murder after a woman and her 3-month-old child were found dead inside her home Tuesday afternoon. A medical examiner is investigating the exact manner and cause of death, but police described the incident as a stabbing. Dwayne Warren, whose relationship to the woman has not been released. Okay, so the victim was probably black. Let's go by the names. So we go by the names. Infant boy and his 22-year-old mother, identified as Epiphany Andrew. Okay, so they're black. Epiphany is like one of those Ebonic names. Um, so that there you have it. There you have black crime everywhere. Um, and here we have authorities searching for suspect in fatal shooting of 7-year-old. Again, black male killed 7-year-old while she was Christmas shopping with her family in Atlanta. Kennedy Maxey and her aunt were in a car driving past a mall in the Buckhead area on December 20 when she was struck by a stray bullet. Okay, so these were black gangs, running amok. So the other thing is also black gangs are very difficult to control because they're gangs. They are they outgun the cops. they out intelligence the cop because they have all kinds of equipment that know exactly where the cops are. So gangs, they're like armies, and cops are not made to fight armies. Cops are made to apprehend shoplifters, muggers, people who defecate in the corner. That's what cops were invented for, not this armies of black gangs and now more and more Mexican gangs, who have declared war on society, have declared war on white people. And so cops, and of course, then you have the cities like there's predominantly black cities who have cops that are cowards. You know, uh, they don't want to deal with this black gang. They're afraid and they're incompetent. There's black police chiefs and black cops and black city council and black mayors. They don't give a shit. They got their I mean, there's the salary, which is the result of white people, uh, taxes living in the suburbs. They have to keep this. They have to keep this black infrastructure going, and so you know, and so they pay taxes through their nose to pay the salaries of these black politicians and black cops who never do their job, never do their job. Uh, then you got more of this, crap shooting. Okay, cop who witnessed Andre Hill's shooting says she didn't see a threat. Who cares? I mean, blacks are dangerous, and cops, they get paid like $40,000 a year on the average. And they don't want to take chances with these black criminals. They shoot first and ask questions later. An officer who witnessed the fatal shooting of Andre Hill, I guess this is one of those other stories of blacks getting shot by cops. If you don't commit the crime, they would not be shooting at you, okay? Okay, the fatal shooting of Andre Hill in Ohio told investigators that she did not, or it's a female cops. So she's not a cop. Female cops should not be cops. Did not see Hill posing a threat before he was killed, according to the documents obtained by CBS News. The officer who shot Hill, identified as Adam Coy, was fired by the city director after the Columbus police chief called the shooting horrific. Really? Really? I tell you what's horrific. Black criminality is horrific. White cops are doing their job. And then the other thing is that if the cop had been black, this would not be a controversy. Okay. Okay. That's all for this morning. Oh, okay. Okay. This is the Andre Hill. Oh, yeah, that's right. Andre Hill, who's barely black, by the way. When I first look at him, I said, this guy's he's a white guy. Okay. So the female cops are like completely worthless. You know that. I mean, you hear the stories of female cops uh, getting raped by the suspect. I mean, when you have female cops getting raped by the suspect, then you're not a cop anymore. You really are a wimp. You're worthless. Female cops should not be cops. Blacks should not be cops. They just don't do their